Did you know that only up to 10,000 federal government employees can retire each month? Why? Because all of the retirement paperwork is stored 230 feet underground in this facility that's been around since 1955. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Elon Musk yet again exposing just how inefficient and ridiculous our federal government is. Now, as I said from the beginning, only up to 10,000 federal government employees can retire each month. Why? Because that's the capacity. That's the human limit. All government retirement paperwork is stored 230 feet underground in a limestone mine in DOGE, Pennsylvania. Basically, the entire town works in this mine, and it ain't no lime, no stone, no gold, no silver, no copper, no nothing coming from this mine. Nothing of value comes from this mine. This is just purely 100% government bureaucracy. All right. 10,000 is a limit because you got human beings in there looking at filing cabinets, writing things down on paper, and the elevator might not work. If the elevator is not working right, they can't get documents from point A to point B. It is a ridiculously old, worn out, and inefficient system, and it really symbolizes just how bad government bureaucracy is. And before I get to that specifically and in detail, let's go back a little bit. I want to show Pocahontas, okay, Miss Elizabeth Warren, because at one point, she would have been Elon Musk's biggest friend in this fight against waste, fraud, and abuse. The same kind of way Bernie Sanders back in the day would say, we must fight against the millionaires and billionaires. But then when he became a millionaire, the billionaires, what happened to the millionaires? Things change when you start to really get money from the other side. Let's watch this and we'll keep on rocking and rolling.
You know, when that much money disappears, it's usually because somebody broke some laws somewhere. But if we don't look, if we don't ask, if we don't uncover it and make it all public, we'll never find out.
We are here to fight back.
So wait a minute, wait. You're here to fight back. You don't like Elon, but Elon is doing the same thing that you were talking about 15 years ago. I don't understand how we've changed. It's really, really weird. But let's keep on going. Now, here's Elon talking about something else. Speaking about millionaires and billionaires, Bernie and Pocahontas and everybody else who have become rich from the government while not earning a big salary. Elon wants to really see how have they made so much money while not making that much money in their salary. And shout out to Musk's little boy right there, little X. Let's keep on rocking and rolling.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
right,
et cetera?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. So, we're looking at,
So there we go. I mean, I think that we pretty much all can gather that they're getting rich off of our backs. Okay, in some kind of way, form or fashion, USAID was definitely a big piece of that. Now, this is an article on Washington Post from 2014. Okay. So this is not, it's just a Trump supporter. This is Washington Post, left-wing paper, 2014, before Trump even became the president, okay? Now, look, it says right here, I said Boyers, Pennsylvania, the trucks full of paperwork come every day, turning off a country road north of Pittsburgh and descending through a gateway into the earth. Underground, they stop at a metal detector decorated the American flag. Behind the door, a room opens up as big as a supermarket full of 5-drawer file cabinets and people in business casual. And about 230 feet below the surface, there's easy listening music playing at somebody's desks. This is one of the greatest workplaces in the U.S. government, both for where it is and for what it does. here inside the caverns of an old Pennsylvania limestone mine, there are 600 employees, now over 700. Why do we need more in that little space from 1955? I don't really know. But anyway, 600 employees of the Office of Personnel Management. The task is nothing top secret. It is to process the retirement papers of the government's own workers. Yes. Now, I want to show you something else from this. Here's an aerial of the parking lot, okay, of the actual workplace. That's the aerial right there. You see this? I mean, for what? Why? Couldn't this easily be modernized? And that is from 2007. I wonder what it looks like now. Probably more, for no reason other than corruption. Hey, can I get a job at the mine? I can work there 40 years. Basically, literally shuffling papers. I can work there 40 years, get a nice living, retire, and I'm good. Okay, that's what's going on with that. Why do we need such an archaic and outdated and inefficient system? Because, hey, why modernize? Why do anything to improve? We already getting money, so what? We straight, right? We already getting money. Why am I incentivized to do anything beyond what was available 70 years ago? Now, this is the entrance to the mine, okay? Iron Mountain, literally a mine. I'm not making this up, okay? And you can see rows and rows and rows of literal paperwork. This could all be easily in a computer system. And don't tell me it can't. Don't tell me it can't, because the federal government is not the only place that has people that retire and get a pension and whatnot. And they don't need no big limestone mine in Pennsylvania to hold and process all the records. And again, their limit is only 10,000 because it's papers. You can't just push buttons. It's handwritten notes and stuff like this. Now let's get to the video here in which Elon talks about it in a little bit more detail.
The most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, whoa, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And I'm like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this.
So the paperwork originates somewhere else, and they bring it in trucks, and they take it off of the truck, and they take it down the shaft, the elevator shaft, down to this basically Walmart underground, 200 feet underground in a limestone mine.
This mine, we'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this. So I think if we take those people and say, like, you know what, instead of working in a mine shaft and carrying manila envelopes to boxes in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else, and you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way.
I mean, really, and that's 100% correct. Now, I understand some might say, you know what, well, the reason why the papers are in the mine is because you don't want the files to be lost in the fire. I mean, yes, that was a concern in 1955. Maybe there was still some of the Cold War that might have been going on at the same time. You want to find a nuclear fallout shelter or something like this. But 2025, you can easily do computerized things and have backup that's paper if you want to. But having it be in this big mine like a bomb shelter is just inefficient. You're limited by the actual elevator. It's just ridiculous. Again, have everything computerized and then a regular warehouse with paper if you need to. Take all that stuff out of the mine, bring it back up to the surface. Maybe that'd be kind of costly. Maybe that'd cost a lot of money. But see, this is why the government shouldn't really be involved in things as I close. The government does not do efficiency well. This is why I was 100% in favor of DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. I was 100% in favor of that because that article I showed you is from 11 years ago. And the problem has been the problem since computers came into existence. You're talking about the 80s, 70s, 60s even. It's been an issue. the government has no incentive to actually upgrade or modernize or anything like that, because regardless of what, they'll still get paid by the taxpayer. And those 700 employees have basically lifelong careers because of government waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm not in favor of having somebody get fired, laid off, or whatever, but why do we need all these people to do this task that has been outdated for the past at least 60 to 65, 70 years? The mind itself may have been an outdated thought process when it was started in the 50s. They don't really care about efficiency. They're caring about getting that money. And I'm glad Elon and Trump are here to put an end to all that nonsense. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about this whole system? A limestone mine 200 feet underground? Like, really? Can we evolve past 1955? It's been 70 years. I'm sure there's more technology that we could use rather than this, but whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Again, this is a clear-cut example of government inefficiency, waste, fraud, abuse. It's simple. People have jobs they can retire from, and that's fine, but we, the people, are just wasting money unnecessarily. We don't need this service. We don't need this service. It's like if the government still had a milkman that came to your door. It's like, thank you, Mr. Milkman, but this ain't Leave It at Beaver, Howdy Doody, Mary Tyler Moore, Dick Van Dyke Show. This ain't that, man. It's 2025. I got DoorDash on my phone. Why do I need you in your whole milkman uniform dropping off gallons and cartons? Like, I don't need that anymore. We've updated. It's simple. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.